Hello YouTube. Today we'll be discussing how we can join pieces of text together using Excel. This video will discuss three methods. The first is the method using the ampersand or the and sign. The second will be using the concat function or the concatenate function. And the third will be using the new function called TEXTJOIN. So in this example, we want the full name to come out as first name, then middle name, then last name. And what we want is a space, just a regular space between those three items. So using the ampersand method, we will begin by typing equal, and then we will select the cell with the first name, and then we will put the ampersand sign in. So now, because we want a space between the first name and the last name, we will open a double quote, select space, so literally put a space inside of the double quotes and close the double quote, and then we select and to join the second piece of text, which is the middle initial. And then we want another space again, so we select ampersand again, and then we open quote, create another space, close the double quote, and then we select the ampersand one more time, and then we select the cell with the last name. Now that we've completed this, we can select enter, and we get the full name, which is Albus J. Dumbledore. Now for the second method, we're going to use the concat function. So I'm going to type an equal sign, type in concat. Now, if you notice, you'll see concat and concatenate. Concatenate is there for compatibility purposes for older versions of Microsoft Excel. The newer versions use concat. If you know your spreadsheet will be used by an older version of Excel, concatenate would be the best choice. Now I'm going to open the function to see what the arguments that it requires. So just from reading the tooltip, we see that it takes text as arguments, and it can take virtually an unlimited number of arguments. There's actually a limit to that, but for our purposes, it's virtually unlimited. So now, just like before, we're going to select first name and comma, and now we still have to put a space in between each argument. So I'm going to do that with the open double quotes, and then I'm going to choose the second argument, which is the middle initial, and then I'm going to put a space again, and then I'm going to select the last name, and then I'm going to close the bracket, and I'm going to press enter, and we get a similar outcome as the one above, which is first name, middle initial, and last name. Now finally, we're going to use the newer function, which is called TEXTJOIN. So we'll type equal TEXT TEXTJOIN, and we'll see what arguments it requires. So the first argument is called a delimiter. Now a delimiter in this particular context is just the character or characters that appear between each joined piece of text. So in our case, we still want it to be a space. So we open the double quote, select a space, close the double quote, and then the second argument that is requested is ignore empty cells when concatenating. So if you select true here, it means that every time TEXTJOIN encounters a cell with no data inside it, with no text, it will simply ignore that cell. So it won't put in, say, an extra blank space. So in that case, in our case, we want it to be true. I usually put true there to stay safe. And then you can now choose the text that you want. In our case, we want the first name, then we want the middle name, and then we want the last name. So just like concatenate, you could keep giving it more and more pieces of text. And I'm going to now close this function and select enter, and I get the same result. And I can just autofill this down for Miss Granger. And there you have it. You have 3 different ways to join text together in Excel. Thank you for watching, and if you like what you saw, please consider liking, and subscribing. And of course, I welcome all comments and feedback.